What is happening? Welcome back to another grinding session of Dragon Quest 1. In this video I'm going to be grinding from levels 5 to 7 in both games. Hold on to your seat because this is going to be a long video. It's going to be about 40 minutes long, and that's good because I have a lot of things to say in my video log. First of all, before I get into that, I want to just demonstrate where I'm grinding. This is what is called the Scorpion's Nest. Why is it called the Scorpion's Nest? Because you can fight scorpions here as well as ghosts, magicians, and magidrakies. This little strip of land kind of crosses in between like two enemy zones. One where you fight, I think, red slimes, drakies, ghosts, and magicians, and another where you fight ghosts, magicians, magidrakis, skeletons, and scorpions. There are two really good advantages to using this area for grinding. One, it's right next to Tantagle, so you can just go to Tantagle for healing. You can talk to the guy and he'll restore your magic points, and then you can just heal yourself and do it all over again. And that saves you money on instays. So different than Garenham, I guess, where you have to pay 25 gold to rest up. You'll be paying nothing. And different than fighting around Cole, you won't have to worry about being ambushed and probably killed by a skeleton, because skeletons can do that at this level if you don't have upgraded equipment. They can take you down in pretty much in a good amount of turns, and then if you fight a skeleton at this level, you're gonna have to run. Now what I'm doing here is, since I ran out of magic points, I am fighting just regular random red slimes, and drakies until my hit points get really low. This way I can make the most of my grinding. This way I can get a couple more XP and go from there. Level 6 is when you hit you reach level 6 when you hit 220 XP. So yeah, and then by the time you get to level 6, you'll be able to buy better equipment. You'll probably be able to pick up a copper sword by then. You'll definitely be able to get a suit of both leather armor and a leather shield, because of the enemies that you're fighting. They're going to be giving up a good amount of money apiece. So there you go. I don't know why I took a break there, but whatever. So I'm just gonna let this ride, and I'm just gonna let this play here, and just give you something to watch while I talk about a pretty controversial subject, as it always has been, as it always is, as it always will be. I was on Facebook, and a few of my Facebook friends posted and shared a link of Dustin Hoffman doing an interview where he did a movie a few months ago where he played as a woman. And in this interview he said, oh, I was trying to be a really good-looking woman, and then he says, oh, now I understand how women feel about their looks and stuff like that. And towards the end he was kind of sad. He was kind of like breaking down and crying because he felt like he treated women really badly, because I guess when he was single, he would seek out like really good-looking women, and he would like kind of ignore the ones who he thought wasn't good-looking. And I have two little thoughts about this. One of them is on the video. Oh, here's me at level 5 getting the copper sword and stuff like that. So yeah, this is part 2 here. I have a few things to say about the interview itself and what Hoffman said. And I watched the video, and I was reading the comment section, and there was one comment that really fucking pissed me off, and I'm gonna talk about that. I'm pretty sure you want to hear me talk about that more than you want me to talk about the about Dustin Hoffman and his little realization, his little epiphany, okay? It's always been my belief, since day one. This has never changed. A few things have changed, how I judge a person's character and what makes them attractive to me, both physically and non-physically, like emotionally kind of deal. That has changed. But what hasn't changed, what has never changed, what was in my mind since day one, what I'm always gonna believe is that looks really are in the eye of the beholder. Looks are really subjective. What someone thinks is very physically attractive, someone else may think, you know what, it's not really attractive. What features in somebody I find attractive, someone else could say that, you know, no, it's not right, I don't agree. This is attractive. There are no universals when it comes to physical appearance. And here's the thing. Society has, like Hoffman said, society pretty much has brainwashed us to think that there's only one, like, you know, quintessential good-looking person out there, you know what I mean? And that person, you know, isn't overweight, you know, they're in good shape. They have really nice features about themselves, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And to me, that is agreeable, okay? Because there's no chance in hell I'm gonna turn down a woman who is in great shape, great physical shape, and she looks like she takes care of herself, and, you know, she weighs like, we'll say like 130 pounds, and she's like 5'9", okay? And then, you know, she has like really nice hair and really good complexion and stuff like that. There's no way I'll ever turn down a perfect woman. No one will ever turn down perfection, okay? I mean, and I really do think that this is the same for men, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. I mean, of course of course it'd be nice if I had 6-pack abs, 8-pack abs, 4-pack abs. It would just make me more physically healthier. I would just look healthier, I'd have more energy, I wouldn't have to sleep at least 6 hours a night, or a day in my opinion, in my case, since I work a graveyard shift. I wouldn't have to do such things if I had a better body that was in shape. Of course. But my reasons are different than most other men's reasons, and I'm gonna get to that much later. I'm going to get to that much later, just hang on for that. But the thing is, we should really be advanced to a point in our society where we can say that one person's really good looking is another person's kind of blah looking. But yes, there are universal, we'll say, archetypes. Okay? I'm not going to deny that. What I'm against, however, is that the objectivity that we place on the archetype, the fact that society wants us to strive towards said archetype, okay? I think it's absurd, okay? And as a man, I can't really relate to how a woman would think about her physical appearance, okay? I'm never going to be able to 100% relate to that, okay? But do I really think that all women like should weigh 110 pounds to 140 pounds or something? Whatever that archetype that I've been talking about, whatever that kind of portrays? Absolutely not. Some women look better when they're 160 pounds. Some women look even better when they're 180. I mean, there's some women in the 200s who, if they were to drop 50 pounds, they would actually look worse. And, you know, I don't want to be, at the expense of getting R-rated, like, let's say a woman is, at the expense of being a sexist fucking pig, we'll just say that. Let's say a woman weighs 200 pounds and she has size D breasts. And then she loses 50 pounds and then her size Ds go to size B. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Or let's say, you know, her behind gets a little bit smaller, and then maybe her legs are a little bit skinnier, so, you know, that kind of stuff. And her figure is kind of, you know, not as nice as it was when she was 200 pounds. Some women are just built to be bigger. Some men are built to be bigger. You know what I mean? If I lost 50 pounds, I wouldn't look like a beanpole. I would just look weird. You know what I mean? But of course, if I lost all that weight and then I put on more weight and muscle, then it'd be different. But I'm gonna go into that much later on too. So here's me at level 6 with upgrades there. Sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't mean. Yeah, so I was just looking. Whatever. Anyways, and more grinding in the Scorpions app. That's fine. So yeah, that's my opinion. There's certain universals are gonna be there, but ultimately, to an intelligent person, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some people look better with a certain figure, other people look better with another figure. You know what I mean? There are no real absolutes, okay? But the archetype of the perfect specimen exists. It's always gonna exist. It's always going to exist. And it's nothing to be stressed out about because everybody's different. And I think a lot of people don't understand that at all. Because they want to strive for perfection because they believe that if they become that perfect archetype, they think that their life is going to change. But guess what? Those same people are the ones who don't work out. They're the same ones who are in danger of, you know, getting diabetes or becoming obese because they're just sitting at home watching TV, just, you know, kind of gazing at the perfection that's being stared right into their eyes through the television or YouTube screen or whatever other medium you use for watching we'll say televised entertainment is, you know what I mean? Those are the very same people who are not motivated. They just dole out excuses for why they're not succeeding. It's because they're addicted to the idea that they can be perfect. They're not addicted to improving themselves. And that's a good segue into what I'm going to say right now. This is going to be a much longer version, or a much longer rant. Okay, this is the one that's going to probably drag out until the end of the damn video, because I have a lot of shit to say about this. Holy mother of Jeebus, do I have a lot of crap to say about this. So, on the video, which I posted in the description, you'll see my comment probably. It'll probably be like rated all the way down or something like that. And my roommate just woke up. Yay. Yeah, big deal. He can hear me rant on. Big fucking deal. So I'm in the comment section, and someone writes, "Oh, you women think you like," very abridged and very paraphrased. Okay, I'm gonna paraphrase the shit out of this because I don't know exactly what they said. All I could say was that the main idea of his post was, "Oh, you know, you think being an unattractive woman is bad. Imagine being an unattractive man. Did you know that, like, in some countries, like, you know, like 9 in 10 males, if they're not good looking enough, they die without having sex and blah 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 blah." And I go completely apeshit, okay? Because whenever I see bullshit like that, you know what? I'm just gonna stop at this point because I want to organize my thoughts a little bit more, and two, my roommate's up, so I don't want to hear him. I don't want him to hear me talk about this. So I'll see you later on. Okay, sorry for the brief interrupt. Now I can actually look up the comments that I made and everything like that. Okay, so guy says in the video, and I quote, "If I were born female, chances are my genitals would still be intact. If I were born a female, chances are people would trust me to be around children. If I were born a female, I'd have reproductive rights. If I were born a female, people would not tell me to woman up if I had a legitimate problem, but would actually try to address it. If I were born a female, I'd be expected to live a decade longer because my health would be important. If I were born a female, I'd be a human being, not a human doing." And then some other woman says, and I actually applaud this woman who gave a pretty legitimate answer to that, which is really nice. She says, "If you were born a female, you would have to fight tooth and nail for your reproductive rights in many states and countries," which is very true. If you were born a woman, you'd be 83% more likely to be murdered by your partner and 6 times more likely to be sexually assaulted. Also true. If you were born a woman, you'd be more likely to live in poverty. That one, not really too sure about. I think it's kind of equal. In most of the sociology classes I've studied about poverty, and a lot of it was really streamlined down the middle. I'm using that term a lot lately, I don't know why. But yeah, a lot of that poverty is pretty much split down the middle when it comes to sexes. So yeah, all your complaints are legitimate, but so are mine. This is not a gender pissing contest. And the comment war continues. These are all comments that I was pretty much responding to. So, another guy says, "Fight for reproductive rights. If you were born a male, in many states you have to die as a virgin. You don't even have a chance to hold a girl's hand in your whole life." I don't know where that came from, but whatever. 83% more likely to be murdered by partner, and this is what I'm gonna be responding to, and I'm gonna be shooting from the hip. So if I come across as ranting, then you're just gonna have to deal with it, because I'm gonna be trying to collect my thoughts in a way that's not belligerent. Because 1, it's 4 in the morning here, and 2, it's hard for me to get these kind of thoughts out without being belligerent. Okay. Here's what he says. "If there are so many kind and caring men in this world, why women always fall for jerks?" And in all caps, he says, If you were born as a not-so-good-looking male, imagine what your life would be. All women treat you like shit." To which the woman says, laughing out loud, "I can't tell if this is satire or not. If it's satire, good job, you got me. Dying a virgin and not getting to hold a girl's hand is not a gender issue. Laughing my ass off. Getting pussy is not a human right. Ha ha ha." Which, very legitimate. That is a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of men, or a lot of boys, let me rephrase it. A lot of boys who have a lot of trouble with dating and cultivating a love life and a sex life if they decide to go there, myself included, back in the day. They think that because they act the way society tells them to, which is to be a nice boy and to not speak your mind around women because all of them, are fragile angels of love who you should never mistreat or make fun of or call out on their bullshit ever. If you act nice to them, and if you buy them stuff, and if you, you tell them nice things about themselves, and if you be their therapist, and all these classic telltale signs of a nice guy who isn't really nice, and I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit more. that you are pretty much entitled, keyword, very keyword, entitled to dating and perhaps sexual relations with said women. Totally wrong. And the only real way to learn that, in my opinion, is the hard way. That is the only way you can learn that, okay? So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't understand that at all. It's... They like to think that just because they act the way that society tells them to, that they can have as much sex and as many girlfriends as they want. And then, of course, once they start dating said girl, all of a sudden, oh, now it's time for me to start acting like a douchebag. And this is what I say. Let's see. No, that's not what I said there either. Come on. I said something here that probably got swallowed in the comments too, because this video from Dustin Hoffman's pretty popular. So yeah, let me check here. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just... By the way, the movie that Dustin Hoffman was talking about is called Tootsie. And I guess he dresses up as a woman and all that good stuff. Yeah, and I explained that in the first 15 minutes. Let's see... Some of these comments are pretty hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, well, whatever. It's fine, I don't need to go over what I originally said. Okay, I did, okay. I said, and it's just me trying to... The following comment that I wrote down is pretty much me trying to get a reaction. Which I got from some people, but not really. I said it isn't satire, their quiet rage is real. Sandy Hook and Aurora are hard evidence of it. I used to think the same way. And then when I realized I wasn't as kind and caring as I thought I was, it was almost like magic, my love life flourished. Which is very true. But this is what I'm trying to get at. Some of these boys need to learn how to be themselves and not act like society tells them to act around women, because it is fake as all hell. Sex and dating isn't a human right. You earn it by being an awesome person. Okay. And here's what's up. And I am actually kind of arguing this, but this isn't really the point here. And then you know, someone said, "Oh, did the shootings happen because they said they couldn't get dates? Are you sure?" I'm like, doesn't matter what they say, because who's gonna ever interview them? The media are literally puppets for the government and big corporations. The two shooters were very lonely, bored men in their 20s. There's nearly a direct connection between lonely men and mass murderers. It's very, very true. You look any mass murderer, 8 in every 10 of them are male, okay? And then, of those males, how many are are above the age of like 25? And do they have rich dating lives? Do they have a good love life? Do they have a family? A lot of these guys didn't have a family. They were very lonely. They were abandoned by their parents. They had really shitty lives growing up and stuff like that. So there is a direct connection, okay? And I said, and different than most white knight assholes, I'm not blaming anyone but the shooters for what they did. But I will be damned if any nice guy that ever thinks that... I'll be damned if any nice guy ever thinks that chicks owe them anything just because they played the gentleman card. And this is what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the gentleman card, okay? I really am. Because, let me tell you this, okay? The gentleman card is complete bullshit. I honestly don't understand why why guys, like, always act this way. I mean, I just got home from a date with, you could say, a girlfriend in progress, okay? And one of her best friends tagged along with us, and then all of us went bowling with my bowling buddies, so it was the four of us. And I don't really want to put it out there, but let's just say there's a lot of drama surrounding my girlfriend in progress's best friend, okay? And a lot of it has to deal with these guys who think that they know what they need to do to get the women they want in their life. And when they realize that they don't know what they're doing, and then they got shot down and they get rejected, stuff like that, they don't blame themselves. They don't take a look at themselves and they say, man, what did I do wrong here? Was I needy? Was I not affectionate and what do you call it, and physical enough? Was I nervous? Did I say or do anything really creepy or lame or anything like that? They don't. They blame either each other or, you know, another guy who the woman that they want is also pursuing, or they'll blame the woman. They'll be like, and then that's what breeds comments like this, where you take something that was. I applaud Dustin Hoffman for saying what he said, because it takes a big, it takes a lot of balls to apologize for stuff that you may have overlooked, women that you may have not wanted to go out with because they didn't fit some archetype of perfection when it came to physical appearance. You know what I mean? Like, the girlfriend in progress that I have, she's a little bit overweight. I mean, it's not overwhelmingly so. Definitely not morbidly obese or anything like that. You know what I mean? So she has a few extra pounds. You know, but she likes the same things I do. She's willing to go bowling with me. That's a big plus. You know, she's done with school and looking for a job. She's taking care of her grandparents. That's something that is admirable. You know what I mean? That's something I could say to myself, wow, I've never really done that. And here's a girl who is 24, 25 years old, that's a really good age for me, by the way. You know what I mean? Dating a woman who is 6 years younger than me, I think that's really nice. You know what I mean? That's almost like a perfect little age difference there. You know, good little age gap. You know what I mean? Things are just working out between me and her. Am I gonna say, oh, you know, maybe I shouldn't go out with her because she doesn't, because you know, she doesn't have the perfect body? Absolutely not. And for Dustin Hoffman to come around and say, look, I overlooked a lot of women who were probably beautiful on the inside more than on the outside, and I couldn't look at it because I was shallow as all hell. For him to apologize for his shallowness and to actually accept it and be and to hold himself accountable for his faults, that's a mark of a true man. That's a mark of a true adult. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people get jealous. A lot of the comments are like, well, yeah, he's gonna say that because he wants to, you know, create a good image for himself and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Which is well and good. But let's also take into the account that there are a lot of people who do the exact opposite. They say, oh, you know, well, trying to think of something to say here. They do the exact opposite. You know, they blame others. They say, oh, you know, it's because of people like It's because of people like Dustin Hoffman and all these famous people who have perfect bodies, who have, you know, a lot of cars and they have a lot of money, that, you know, they're the reason why we're miserable and stuff like that. And that's completely ass backwards. You should never blame other people for your lack of success. Okay? That goes with women, that goes with school, that goes with your job, or how much money you want to make at your job or whatever, or your career. Like, let's say you want to make a much better living than the one you're living now. You know what I mean? I hate that word career, by the way. It's so stupid because a career is a culmination. Like, for example, I have a retail career. You know what I mean? I have a college career. I have a bowling career. A career is something you develop over time. What you're doing now is earning a living. I'm earning a living in retail. I'm earning a living somewhat in bowling tournaments. Anyways, mid rant over. Doesn't matter. Um, the idea that self-accountability is pretty much at an all-time low, and that more and more boys are acting entitled to women just because they treat them nice, is really disturbing, to say the least. Did I go through something like this? Absolutely, I went through something like this. I I'll never forget it. I took a woman out on a date, and I acted all nice to her. You know, bought her some stuff, and I dressed nice because I felt like she deserved to get the best of me. You know, and I paid for her to have whatever she bought on the date. I got it for her. You know, and I tried to impress her by telling her, you know, yeah, I just finished school and stuff like that, you know, and trying to get to the gym so I could be better looking and stuff like that. Everything that society told me to get better with women, I did on that date. And you know what she said to me? She said to me, honestly, I think you're creepy because the things you're saying, the things you're doing, I can tell you have some kind of ulterior motive behind it, and that makes me a little bit scared and a little bit uncomfortable. So I'd rather you not contact me again. Thanks for the date, but I really don't want to continue this. And I'll never forget that night. I spent the whole night crying because I did everything that I was supposed to do, and it got me less than zero results. It got me not even getting put in the friend zone. So, and that's when I discovered the game, and that's when I discovered stuff like real social dynamics and stuff like that. Um, and here's the thing: a lot of guys, they have they have two choices here. Okay, what real social dynamics says is that there's two frames. Before I wrap this up, there's two frames that that guys who try to get chicks go through. There's the seller frame where he's trying to win her over. There's the buyer frame where he's trying to get the woman or chick or girl in question to win him over. And I've added another one. That is the quitter frame. What the quitter frame is the one that really blames everyone for their problems and stuff like that. Okay. When you're in the seller frame, that's when you're following all society's rules when it comes to getting women, okay? You need to learn lessons in that. Because the lessons you take from there, which is the lesson that I mentioned about a minute ago, when you learn those lessons, those hard lessons that make you cry all night, and then you look to another way, a way that is more congruent to who you are. For example, when I talk to chicks, I talk like fucking Archer, okay? That's just who I am. I do that with everybody, not just women. So, why not act that way and be a gentleman when the woman has won me over? A lot of guys don't get this, and then they blame women for their lack of success with women, and then that's what bred all those comments that I've completely buried in this video. Hope you enjoyed this. Look for some more Dragon Quest 1. We'll be starting our next Dragon Quest 1 video at level 7. This is the Big Jew telling you to keep being awesome. Peace. Okay, sorry about that. I lied. I have a little bit more time, and I'm going to use that time to pretty much, I want to pretty much kind of expose what men really want in a relationship. This is coming from a way I used to think in the past, and it's coming from a kind of way that that kind of the vibe that a lot of guys are giving me nowadays. Don't forget, I work like right next to a whole bunch of nightclubs in a college town, so you could just tell from the looks of the eyes of these boys what they want. And they don't, I'll tell you what they don't want, okay? They don't want what they think they want. What do I mean by that? They don't want just a nice little fling, a one night stand, one nice little seductive date where they can, where they can flirt really heavily during the date and then possibly have sex afterwards and then have no regrets afterwards. That's what they don't want. I'm going to tell you what they do want. A replacement for their goddamn mothers, okay? I'm not lying, alright? I used to think this way 10 years ago, okay? In a good amount of journal entries that I wrote, I used to write in the journal all the time back in the day. I would always be like, yeah, I met this new girl, and she's going to be the one for me. She's going to save me from myself. Think of that last little term there. Save me from myself. What woman would want to do that to a guy, okay? Here's the thing. Men in this planet, whatever species it is, are natural leaders. Okay, I'm not trying to be a sexist here, okay? They make very shitty nurturers, but they're really good leaders, okay? Women are natural nurturers. They're nurturers by nature, okay? Do they make good leaders? That remains to be seen, just like with men and being nurturers. You know what I mean? We don't know this yet, okay? So it becomes a very approval-seeking thing to do when a guy walks up to a woman and he tries to impress her and he tries to win her over, because then when they start dating and stuff like that, when she becomes his girlfriend, then she can pretty much clean for him and cook for him and stuff like that, okay? The whole get back into the kitchen kind of deal. That's coming from a very approval-seeking state of mind, okay? A very immature one at that as well, okay? Damn it. Thinking of what else to say here. How do we counter this? How do we get over this? Well, what a lot of guys don't know how to do is take care of themselves. And just like with women and taking initiative, for the most part, anyways, or in certain aspects of life, we'll say, it's very hard for men to self-nurture. Okay, I had a big problem with this in my childhood. Okay, both my parents would work, and they would need to stop this video. No, I have to stop this in a little bit. But they would, they would both leave. They would leave me at the house, and I would have nothing to eat. So I would just eat snack food all day. And then my mom told me how to cook, and then all of a sudden, there we go. I had dirty clothes, and my mom told me how to do the laundry, and so on and so forth. Okay, you gotta learn how to do that if you're a guy, because no woman wants to be your girlfriend and your mother. Nobody, no woman in the world wants to do that. Okay, it's the same with maintaining self-esteem or being, or being happy with yourself. No woman wants to just try and make you happy all the time. They're having enough trouble trying to make themselves happy. Why? Because they're a human being in the 21st century on the planet Earth. So there we go. Now this video is done. We'll continue Dragon Quest 1 next time in level 7, where I'll be exploring more of Alfgard. This is the Big Jew telling you to keep being awesome. Peace.